love that. I love that. When you close your heart, you close your mind. And thank you, Joanna, for that wonderful sharing. It took me right back to that day when we had 5 teenagers up on this stage who had been arrested for breaking in. The morning of the vandalizing was a Sunday morning, and when we announced that the kids had been arrested, the room cheered. And John and I looked at each other and went, oh no, that's not good. And so we brought them back, and we had them see that these are real people. And they all, one was going into the Marines, and one's going into the police academy, and all of that, really. And so we wanted to have a relationship with them. And we were reminded of a tribe in Africa that when they believe that everyone is born with a song, and whenever they stray from their life path or do anything against the group, they're brought back into the middle of the circle. And their song is sung to them. And there's another tradition where that person is told of all of the wonderful things they have done for everyone in the village, even if it takes days. And what they do is they just fill them up with so much love that there's no room for the part of them that went against love to stay. There's no room for that part to stay. And so I was reminded of those 5 young men, and on that day, for the very first time, we sang "The Face of God." You are the face of God. And we also sang a Melissa Felipe song called "There is Only One of Us. In your eyes, it's me I see. There is only one of us, you are my reflection." And people had an opportunity to go up to these young men and sing to them. You know, and they're these tough, they just graduated high school, they were drunk as skunks, and they came in here and they decided to see what we had. So here are these young men, and they're just crying because of so much love. Because when you close your heart, you close your mind. And this is not a one-sided teaching. So to bring it around to my topic, a thought plus a feeling equals an action, because sometimes we can think that this is just an intellectual exercise in mental science. Even in the Bible it said in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was one. Translated better to in the beginning was an idea, or in the beginning was a thought. And Ernest Holmes says that when we think a thought, it manifests in our world. Wallace Wattles, that came before Ernest Holmes, said there is a thinking stuff, and in its original state, what is it? There is a thinking stuff from which all things are made, and which in its original state permeates, penetrates, and fills the interspaces of the universe. A thought in this substance creates the thing that is imaged by the thought. Man can create things in his thought, and by impressing that thought upon formless substance can cause the thing he thinks about to be created. Now that's all great about thinking, but that's only part of the formula, that it is a thought plus something. That it's not just a thought. We can't just tell ourselves things and then feel the opposite of that or believe the opposite of that and expect to have our lives change. We can't say that we're safe and feel afraid and expect to demonstrate the outpicturing of that safety. We cannot say, I love you. Take a deep breath. We just had a great relationship class last Monday. We cannot say, I love you, and then spend the week criticizing that person and expect to have a great relationship. Sometimes I ask people, how are you doing? They say, oh, I'm doing great. And I say, well, tell it to your face. Because there's got to be a holistic expression here, that it's not just the thoughts that we hold, it's the thoughts that we hold plus the feelings that we feel that allow change to be happening in our lives. So that if we are one-sided in life and we're sitting back there and saying, well, I'm just going to do affirmations until I'm blue in the face, and then we turn around and we don't take any action on that, or we don't bring our feeling nature into alignment with that, then all we're doing is blowing smoke, and you know where we're blowing it. Oh, really? Let's be real. There's so many phony, baloney metaphysicians out there. I have an abundant part of life. Well, do you want to go to lunch? Oh gosh, no, you know, my taxes went up and I'm in this dead-end job and I just got a flat tire and all of that. And what good does that do to say an affirmation that doesn't have any substance to it, that doesn't have any reality to it? And so people say, well, Barbara, you kind of go on the other side, you go overboard on the other side by saying, today's a happy day, today's the best day ever, and all we have to do is be happy to be able to manifest our dreams. And frankly, if I could have a feeling or have a thought, I pick the feeling any day. Because if I can generate that experience that all is well in the world, that my life is rich and full to overflowing, that I'm surrounded by people who love me and I love them back, then who cares what the affirmation is? But if I'm so busy trying to micromanage my demonstrations, okay, I know that that blue car over on the West End auto sale lot on Patton Avenue, that car comes with a down payment that is less than and has this amount of interest. If I'm so busy trying to micromanage the demonstration because I think that's the only way I'm going to get what I want, then I'm missing the boat. Because you can have all the great, lofty, metaphysical thoughts you want, and if you don't have a decent feeling to go along with them, your life is not going to unfold the way you want it to unfold. And you can have a decent feeling and set your course to experience love and joy and health and happiness no matter what your thought is, because your thoughts are going to come along. The ability to choose our feeling state is so big. The ability to be happy, the ability to relax, to take a deep breath. Everybody take a deep breath. Everything's okay. Life is good. Everything is okay. You have an entire universe that supports you, that comes together to support just you. You are loved so much that if you had a sense of it, it would blow you right out of your seat. There is something. It is in you. It is around you. You came out of it. It's in everybody else. It reflects back to you. There is something that is so amazing and magnificent that if we could just harness a little bit of that, it would be like the chariot riding us off into whatever dream we choose to grab. We could just harness a little bit of that. We would always know what to do. We would always feel that presence of spirit. If somebody robs us, we would say, well, how can I get back to you? You obviously are feeling like you don't have enough. How can I get back to you? Because the higher spiritual calling is not to get even, it's to give back. And when we do that, we start creating a world that is so different from the tit-for-tat reality that most people live in. It's a thought, granted it's a thought, and please think about what you think about. If I ever had a tombstone, a grave marker, mine would simply say, think about it. That's all it would say is think about it. Whatever it is, think about it. Think thoughts that nurture you, that uplift you, but then garner that emotion, that feeling that says, well, of course I can have this. Of course this sale can go through. Of course I can have a career that I love. I remember you before you're going to school, a master's program, you just wanted to do art. That's all you wanted to do was art. Well, of course you can do art and make a living at it and make a wonderful living at it and be supported by life. Of course you can, because the entire freaking universe supports you. All of life supports you. You, specifically you, not you as a general part of humanity. Specifically you, there is that which loves you so much and comes together in any way you want to direct it that will create businesses and opportunities and people and experiences that are in alignment with who you really are, not the tit-for-tat you. The part of you that says, I've got to open up my heart, I've got to step farther than I've ever stepped before in a living faith and trust that life supports me. You think those thoughts and you feel those feelings and things happen. Houses sell, businesses come together, things that showed up on the x-ray or the diagnosis are no longer there. You have babies after 10 years in your arms. celebrating in the back of the room. If you can think the thought and hold the feeling that says, I deserve this, life loves to give to me, of course I can have this. If you can think the thought and hold the feeling that says, my life is wonderful, I'm a spiritual being alive and well on planet Earth, living a spiritual life. If you can hold that feeling and think that thought, then whatever bump in your road that appears, you will simply sail over. And you'll look back on your life 10 years from now and go, wow, it all just fell into place. It all just worked out. And what a wonderful journey it has been. It is the thought. The thought is crucial. Think the thoughts that support you. Stop thinking about things that you don't want. Stop picking on people. Stop being petty. So what? Somebody did something. So what? Somebody broke into your house. So what? You know, definitely could have been me. A couple of different choices, definitely could have been me, and you know it could have been you too. So what? Somebody cut you off in traffic. Somebody got that thing before you did. Somebody left you. Somebody fired you. So what? Stop thinking thoughts about that. Think about the thought that is you, that is beyond this experience. The you that has grown so far beyond what you used to have that you can't have it anymore, and then feel the feeling. The feeling that says, yes, I get to have my life the way I want it. Yes, I get to be blessed. Yes, I get to be loved. Yes, I get to be safe. Feel those feelings and then work them up into, yes, I'm going to say it, into happiness and joy. Work them up. If you've got to start with safety, that's fine to start, but work it up into happiness. Well, if I had that, I'd be happy. Don't wait. Don't give your power away. Just go for it. Go ahead and be happy. Be happy and think about it. Maybe I'll add an addendum onto my fictitious gravestone. Be happy and think about it. And when you put those two things together, there's nothing that can stop you because you have harnessed the power of all creation. And the only thing that can come after that is the action called your life. And so it is.